Here come the York team on the pitch with the sponsor's name on the back of the tracksuit tops. Warrington, of course, sponsored by Sparkomatic. I see on the pitch there Brian Johnson, Warrington's new Australian signing, and a fine-looking player in my book. It's being photographed by Eddie Whittam. One for the album, that. Referees this afternoon, just coming on, Mr. B.F. Walker, and the touch judges, Mr. D. Carter and Mr. J. Ward. The hooter sounds, the referee signals he's heard it. And the sub collecting the tracksuit tops from the York team in their yellow and black hoops. Warrington, of course, in their familiar Sparkomatic gear. White jerseys, primrose and blue hoops, white socks. And the toss being taken, and the teams changed round. I think that York won the toss and elected to play towards the railway end of the ground. Hence Warrington playing into the sunshine. Andy Gregory about to kick off. Very poor gate this afternoon. Obviously the effects of last week's drubbing by the Wigan Club in the Burton Wood Brewery's Lancashire Cup final. And Gregory kicks deep, and it's taken by another on the team sheet of York. Go through the teams when I've got the chance. And York with it. And Bob Jackson in there very hard in the tackle, playing second row, number 11. This is York taking pressure off their own line. Penalty kick for offside to York. The Warrington team at number 1, Brian Johnson. Number 2, Brian Carbett. Number 3, Paul Cullen. Number 4, Barry Peters. And what a kick, it went backwards. Would you believe that one? Number 5, Mark Foster. At 6, Ken Kelly. 7, Andrew Gregory. Number 8, Les Boyd. At 9, Carl Webb. 10, Kevin Tamati. 11, Bob Jackson. 12, Tommy Gittins. And 13, Alan Rathbone. The substitutes for Warrington: number 14, Rick Thackeray. Number 15, Glyn Shaw. York still with the ball. The softening up process taking place as always. And there's the York loose forward, Matt Carter, trying to crash through, but 3 men in the tackle for wire. Kick here from York, left-footed into an open space, but Brian Johnson's got that covered. Can he do what he did last Sunday? He's having a go, but he's stopped well this time by Mick Makito of Australia, fellow Aussie. And Gary Cullen. Now it's Warrington with the ball. Carl Webb in possession. He plays it to Cullen. Cullen gives to Les Boyd. Les Boyd knocked down by his opposite, number 8, Steve Crooks. Paul Cullen, dummy half, in the Warrington half. Boyd plays to himself. Doesn't get too far. Cullen again, dummy half. Gregory's there waiting. Gregory with the ball. Straight out this time to Kelly. Kelly gives a nice pass to Bob Jackson. Bob Jackson. He's brought down. Jackson plays. That was a Kelly kick after a pass from Tamati. This is Warrington's ball. No, it will be offside, I think. Yes. Alan Rathbone offside. He doesn't agree with the referee's decision. He's talking to referee Walker, but he won't get any change out of Mr. Walker. The York team at number 1, Trevor Midgley. Number 2, Wayne Morrill. Number 3, Chris Harrison. Number 4, Australian Sean Willey. Number 5, and other. Number 6, Graham Stedman. Number 7, Steve Dobson. Number 8, Steve Crooks. Number 9, Chris Rhodes. Number 10, another Australian, Mick Makito. Number 11, Gary Cullen. Number 12, Peter Martin from Australia too. Number 13, Matt Carter. Substitutes for York, 14, Paul Proctor. 15, Mick Colley. And there's another penalty given, this time against Bob Jackson for holding down. And Graham Steadman, the number 6 for York, will take the kick. He's just inside the Warrington half as he bangs it left-footed into touch. Doesn't gain much ground at all again. The ball over the other side of the Fiesta Leisure Centre. Ball boys for Warrington resplendent today in their brand new tracksuits with their Orford Sports emblem. This is York moving the ball about, but Cullen's got his man there. Brings Sean Willie down to the turf. Chris Harrison for York into the Warrington half. Why, desperately need a very good win today to bring back the missing spectators. There's a nice run from the hooker, Chris Rhodes. Ball out there. Good ball to Carter. Carter tries to slip it inside. It's gathered by the scrum half, Steve Dobson. 20 yards to Warrington line. There's a clean slate indicated by referee Walker. And the pressure on the wire now as York move this ball left. But the prop forwards stepping inside, gets a nice pass out to Steadman. Steadman gives it to Chris Harrison. 6 or 7 yards from the York line. From the Warrington line, York in the attack. Burley number 12 there, Peter Martin from Aussie. 5 yards from the wire line. This is little chip kick from the scrum half, and he takes it and scores a tremendous try. What a lovely touch from Steve Dobson. A beautiful chip, and he takes himself and puts it down. Lovely try, nice bit of thinking, touch of individuality about that. Lovely try from Steve Dobson. York on the score sheet after 5.5 minutes, 4 points to 0. Graham Steadman will take the kick, left-footed. 27 yards out from the post, about 13 yards in from the left-hand touchline. That was a gem. A gem of a try. Steadman taking his time with his kick. Hits it side-footed. And it's low and outside too. More like a soccer bender. And so Warrington down 4 points after 6 minutes. Andy Gregory to kick off from the centre spot of course. Lovely sunny day. But the sun not shining on the wire at the moment. York yet again with possession. Trevor Midgley, number 1, with the ball. Ball being moved right. Steve Crooks with it. Mick McIntosh, number 10 for York, grounded. There's a kick from Steadman, running deep. Brian Johnson covering this behind his own try line. Picks it up, he's got Carbot with him, but he decides to go alone. He's upended unceremoniously by Mick McIntosh, fellow Aussie. This is Carl Webb. Pass the ball, say the Wire fans. Cullen passes it to Rathbone. Rathbone goes solo. 3 York players in the tackle. Webb dummy half. Andrew Gregory. Shimmy dummies. Takes. Throws out an awful pass, and York are in possession. This is Gary Cullen for York. He loses the ball. Tammet is onto it. Came on a sub yesterday in the first test. At Headingley, that's Ken Kelly to Webb, to Bob Jackson, back inside. Carl Webb acting half. Jackson plays. Ken Kelly jigging back inside. Webb again. Dummy half. Kelly plays. Webb to Gregory. Gregory to Tommy Giddins. Tommy Giddins back inside. Les Boyd. And the penalty to Warrington for York, lying offside. Carbett coming up to take the kick. Good kick from Carbett. Kelly to take the tap. To Gregory, to Webb, back to Kelly, long pass, good pass to Rathbone. Rathbone, nice pass there to Barry Peters. He beats two men. No support with him, no support. Kelly, Tommy Giddins, into the York 25 area. First time Warrington have had a position there. Kelly, run around with Tamati. Gregory throws a bad pass, but it's taken well and moved out this time to Cullen. Cullen looking for space. Now just outside the York 25. Cullen plays to Tamati. Tamati to Kelly. Kelly to Rathbone. Rathbone knocks the ball forward. York player fumbles and Warrington back in possession. Bob Jackson running strongly. Clean slate. Long pass from Kelly to Carbett. Carbett loses possession of the ball, but drags his man into touch. Another brought over the touchline. Andy Gregory to feed. Referee Walker not happy with the scrum. Still Warrington 0, York 4. York's ball. Stedman to Midgley. Trevor Midgley plays to try to score to Steve Dobson. He moves it out. Good run this from Gary Cullen. Dobson. Steve Crooks moves the ball out to Chris Harrison. He gains ground, plays the ball. York moving this ball across. Mick McIntoe powering in, but reception committee waiting. He plays to Dobson. Sorry, Dobson's got it now on little chip kick there. It's going anywhere. Hey, another knocks it into touch. Referee Walker having problem with the scrum. Gregory not happy about feeding. It's Warrington's ball. Rathbone gets it on the blind side. Alan Rathbone to play. Andy Gregory to Bob Jackson. Andy Gregory dummy half to Alan Rathbone. Alan Rathbone looking for support, came too late. Andy Gregory, Boyd, Gregory again, beats two men, shimmies through, gives a nice pass to Ken Kelly, goes racing beneath the sticks to equal the scores. Nice play from Gregory, and Kelly saw the break and seems to me to be as sharp as ever. Right between the sticks, score stands 4-4. 30 minutes gone in the first half. Simple slot kick for Carbett. That's the kind of play the wire speckers expect from the Warrington halfbacks. Gregory slipping in Ken Kelly, who raced beneath the sticks And the applause is for Andy Gregory and Ken Kelly. And there's the lead to Warrington. 1 try to Kelly, 1 goal to Carbett. 6 points. 1 try to York, scored by scrum half Steve Dobson. 4 points. Several Warrington players shielding their eyes from the sun. Good decision by the York captain to play this way, I think. A lot of sun blazing in the Warrington players' eyes. Cullen's got this covered. Taps it, picks up, looks for a gap. Can't find one, loses the ball, but flips it to Webb. May have been a pass. Give you the benefit, Paul, yes. Carl Webb plays to Alan Rathbone. Alan Rathbone comes blind and runs straight. He loses the ball. And the referee awards a penalty to wire for York stealing the ball after the tackle. Carbett to punt. No problem. Andy Gregory on the halfway line, taps, brings in Alan Rathbone. Crashbone Rathbone. Webb, dummy half. Tommy Gittins. Webb again to Andy Gregory, to Ken Kelly. Work around with Gregory, bringing in Bob Jackson, but he's well spotted. 8 yards into the York half. It's Kelly in possession. Bad pass to Boy, but taken well by Cullen. Cullen slips the pass, but it's not taken by Carbett. Hits Carbett's knees, and York have the ball once again. Referee blows. He's not happy. Cullen penalised, and a kick, which I think Graham Stedman will take for York. Just slips into touch, the standoff for York. Lovely day for open rugby. Steve Dobson bringing in the prop. Mick McIntosh. Matt Carter. Chris Rhodes to Dobson. Dobson, good ball there. That looked like a forward, and the referee says it was. Pity wasn't refereeing yesterday in the test match. So the last try certainly looked forward to me. Differential penalty to York. Referee hasn't. Leaning down in the scrum apparently. Left-footed kick from Stedman. Out to the ground. Steve Dobson takes the tap. Working a move here with his prop. Bringing in his second row man. Garrett Cullen. 15 yards out in front of the Warrington sticks. Is this lively scrum half again. Bringing in his prop forward. Steve Crooks. Only 6 or 7 yards from the Warrington line. Looks dangerous. Here's that Dobson again. Turns the ball to his forward. Mick McIntosh. Dobson again. And this looks like Warrington's ball. Offside. Scrum down. 10 yards to the Warrington sticks. Andrew Gregory to feed from our side of the ground. Our commentary position way back at the rear of the north stand, the new stand. Andy Gregory feeds. It's York's ball. Well, that was a strange decision because it was York's ball and a differential penalty is given to them. The referee indicated handing out. And York are 8 yards to the Warrington line. Dobson, Crooks. Crooks brought down by 3 Warrington forwards. Chris Rhodes, dummy half, going solo towards the sticks. He's being pushed back. Steve Crooks to Garrett Cullen. Garrett Cullen's, is he over? On his back. Referee right on the spot. Let off for Warrington, but there's a scrum down now in front of the Warrington sticks. Gregory to feed for Wire. Referee stops the clock. Someone's lost something, I think. It's a contact lens, that's my guess. Well, the referee starts again. Saw a game stopped some years ago for quite a long period. I think it was Ray Dutton had lost a contact lens. Andy Gregory feeds, but it's a quick pass and a bad pass from Dobson, but it's covered well by centre 3/4. Chris Harrison, still inside the Warrington 25. York in possession. York on attack, of course. Dobson, the halfback. To Crooks. Crooks, a long pass. Another has the ball. Carbert's got him covered. Tries to drag him into touch, but just fails to. But he's got him down. That's the main thing. Carter, number 13. York have had so much ball. 6 or 7 yards to the Warrington line yet again. Dobson. Out to the number 10, Mick McIntoe. Mick McIntoe, a nice slip pass to his second rower. And there's a wingman in here, no problem, he's running towards the sticks, he places the ball. That's a good try to York, the scorer Wayne Morrill. So York back into the lead. They've played some very good football today. This will not please the Wire fans or the Wire coaching staff. That wing seemed wide open then. So it's 6 points to Warrington, it's 8 points to York, with a chance of 2 more if Graham Steadman is accurate with his kick. Graham Steadman lining the ball up. Left-footed kick. Excellent kick, superb kick from Graham Steadman. So Wire 6 points, York 10. 25 minutes gone of the first half. We've got a walkie-talkie in our commentary box now. So we've got ground announcements, commentary and walkie-talkie heckling me at the moment. It's Andy Gregory to kick. Rugby union style kickoff. Like to see more of those, but banging them a little bit higher so the Warrington forwards have a chance to run onto them. This little hooker looks very lively. Chris Rhodes. And that was a knock on as he attempted to play the ball. Chris Rhodes. Gregory to feed. To the side of the pitch. And it's Wire's ball. Gregory well tackled there by loose forward Carter. It's Alan Rathbone with the ball. Warrington fans getting a bit disturbed. Oh! And Rathbone, one for an elbow. Sent off last week, and now he puts the elbow in, says referee Walker, and the York man certainly looks injured. Referee stops the clock, I'll stop mine. The Warrington big mouth we hear so often says, you've got your penalty, now get up. And there's boos all the way around, and that's not against Rathbone, that's against York and against the referee. And a good kick there by Steadman. Brings play well into the Warrington half. Another flips the ball inside to the blonde-haired Steve Dobson, number 7 for York. He moves it, and run-around move goes wrong. But he's back in possession, is this lively Mr. Dobson. Steve Crooks, the number 8. Steve Dobson again. Moves the ball out to Matt Carter. Ball thrown back. Steadman kicks for touch, and it looks a beaut, but it's taken very well indeed by Mark Foster. But he's brought down on his own line. What's the referee rule here? Rules that he's just in front of the line and he plays it. As Brian Johnson doesn't get far, a couple of yards. Foster injured, number 5. Barry Peters indicating that he wants the physio on. Foster's injured. Gordon Pinkney in his resplendent Sparkomatic tracksuit. Rick Thackeray warming up, nursing an injury, but on the bench today. Thackeray warming up on the near side touchline, ready to replace Mark Foster. Foster still getting treatment. He's on his feet from Gordon Pinkney. Referee starts the clock. Foster stays on. Tamati. Kelly dummy half. To Rathbone. Rathbone tackle. Kelly again. This time back to Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson puts in a kick. This looks covered by another. Takes it well. Tries to beat Les Boyd. Pushed back by Bob Jackson. The wire crowd certainly love this Mr. Jackson. Robert Jackson. He's tackling again there. Never stop, non-stop. Steadman plays. Dobson. Bringing in Mick McIntosh. Headbanded. It's not, it's Peter Martin, the other Aussie. Sorry about that one. Dobson kicks. Looks good. It is good. Beautiful kick into the Warrington 25 area. Mick McIntosh and Peter Martin, the two Aussies, got headbands on. Thackeray is coming on in place of Mark Foster. Lots of blood gushing from the side of Foster's head. Brian Johnson with the ball. To Cullen. Cullen plays to Kelly. The sub for wire. Rick Thackeray replaces Mark Foster. Andy Gregory decides to bang it into touch this time. Thackeray, 2 balls on the pitch. The referee holds it. Thackeray removes the ball. And it's Kelly to Alan Rathbone. Carl Webb, act in half. Gives to Kelly. Kelly on to Andrew Gregory. Andy Gregory shimmies, dummies, and runs into 2 forwards. Just inside the York half. Tommy Gittins turns back inside to Carl Webb. Gittins, awful pass. Hospital pass, but gathered by a York player. Steve Crooks, the prop for York, in position. Mick McIntosh. Mick McIntyre and his fellow Aussie Peter Martin have headbands. Difficult to tell one from another from up here. That looked a forward pass, but the referee says no. The ball is carried on. The play carries on. Dobson has it, gets a nice slip pass to number 4, Chris Harrison. He's puts an awful pass to another. Obviously, another has not played a lot of rugby league, in my opinion. He's a trialist. He may be from the 15-a-side game. Gregory feeds. It's Warrington's ball. Gregory trying to run right through the middle. Kevin Tamati out in half. Webb dummy half to Rathbone. Rathbone straightens up again, gets the pass this time to Tommy Giddens. Webb left to Kelly. Cullen, good ball to Barry Peters. Into the York half. Kelly dummy half. Run around with Boyd. But that looked offside on Kelly to me. The man was right on him, spotting like mad. Andy Gregory to Cullen. Cullen puts in a long chip. Taken well by another. Brian Carbert's having problems bringing him down. So Tamati said, I'll knock him down for you, and he does. Dobson. Crooks. Peter Martin, number 12. Dobson, number 7. Out to Crooks. To Makito. Makito slip one-handed pass. And Warrington have possession. Barry Peters with the ball. And it's Tommy Giddens trying to power his way through. Carl Webb acting half. To Kelly. To Gregory. Gregory moving back inside. Rathbone turns it back to Webb. 8 yards or so from the York line. Rathbone decides to go alone. The 6th tackle coming up indicates referee Walker. Kelly puts in the bomb. And it's directing to touch, ball back, scrum down. Referee stops the clock as Andrew Gregory laces up his boot. And also the York physio is coming on to attend to one of the headbanded Aussies. Can't say who it is from here. Yes, can do now. It's Mick Makito. Lovely name, that. Makito. And the clock stopped. And play stops as the physio gives attention to Mick Makito. And the crowd getting restless because of this long stoppage. The referee says start the stopwatch again. And it's Dobson to feed for York on the far side of the field. Still Warrington 6 points, York 10 points. About 30 minutes gone of the first half, and it's Dobson's ball for York. Dobson plays. Dobson again, bringing in Steve Crooks. Dobson out. Here's a kick from Stedman. He's hit off the ball by Bob Jackson. No doubt about that one. And there's a bit of a flare-up with the fullback. But definitely a penalty, and that physio's busy for York. Don't know whether it was an elbow or a shoulder, but definitely a good decision, a penalty. But no warning to Bob Jackson, so couldn't be too vicious. And it's an awful kick, but it finds touch for York. Dobson taps on to Steve Crooks. Kevin Tamati trying to steal the ball. And he did another dramatic fall, looking for an Oscar. Steve Crooks today. Makito, this time it's Dobson. Bringing in Gary Cullen. Little hooker there, Chris Rhodes, dummy half to the halfback Dobson, back to the number 12, Peter Martin. Dobson to Mick Makito. Sixth tackle coming up. We'll probably see the bomb. Mick Makito having trouble getting up. Dobson bangs it back to his standoff. And it's a beautiful kick. A superb kick. Finds touch beautifully inside the Warrington 25. So it's 6 points to Warrington, 10 points to York. Round about 35 minutes gone, I reckon, on me out Samuel Neverite. There's problems in that scrum. The referee saying, come on, let's have the scrum done properly. Lecturing Les Boyd. Ball being fed from our side, as you can see. Andy Gregory feeds. It's Warrington's ball. He goes on the blind side. The blind side dash, steps inside and tackled very well indeed by his opposite number 7, Steve Dobson. Ball played to Johnson. Johnson moves the ball on to Kelly. Kelly's through the break, through the gap. But he's just brought down very well indeed by Sean Willey. Ball's lost. And it hit a York man, so it's still Warrington's ball. Barry Peters plays. It's Alan Rathbone straining up again. And Carl Webb hits a man off the ball. The referee takes no notice whatsoever. Andy Gregory. Tommy's left, moves right, brought down well. Rathbone, good ball to Tommy Gittins. Tommy Gittins gets a nice pass into Kevin Tamati, slips inside, but brought down well by Graham Stedman. Good tackle that. Tamati plays to himself and gets a penalty against him. It was Les Boyd, not Tamati. Check on that one, sorry. Les Boyd. Tamati well a long distance from the ball. My apologies. And there's not a lot to get excited about so far in this match. But York will be very happy. Steve Crooks with it for York on their own 25. And attention is needed yet again. What's going on here, says Les Boyd. I don't know, says Rathbone. And the slow hand clap starts in the stand. Referee Walker talking to Mr. Rathbone and Mr. Crooks. Mick Makito. Loose forward Matt Carter in possession. Dobson puts in a kick for touch. Looks good. 'Tis good. York have played very well. A few dramatics, but still they've played well. And then They're in the lead 10 points to 6. They'll be very happy about this at half time. Couple of minutes plus injury time to play, the half-time hooter. And the props are being brought out. Les Boyd and Steve Crooks being lectured by referee Walker. The two number 8s. Andy Gregory to feed. Some terrible scrummaging, but it's Warrington's ball. Gregory gives to Rathbone. Rathbone runs straight. Carl Webb, acting half, gives to Andy Gregory. On to Tommy Gittins. Tommy Gittins back inside. Carl Webb, good ball to Ken Kelly. Ken Kelly jinks back inside, puts a little kick. Takes it well himself. Plays the ball to Bob Jackson, to Andy Gregory. Andy Gregory pushes it back inside to Les Boyd. Les Boyd still moving, throws the ball badly, and York have possession. Trevor Maidsley, the fullback, dummy half. Stedman to play. Dobson. On to Peter Martin. Martin plays. Dobson. Tricky scrum half this. Chris Rhodes, the hooker. On to Crooks. Bringing the backs into it. Another has a chance here to show his paces. Ooh. High tackle from Andy Gregory and a penalty given as Carbett has a clear run to the line. Penalty against Andy Gregory for a high tackle that completely floors another. Lots of angry shouts and angry faces in the crowd in front of me. People leaning over the barrier. And boos greet the referee and the York team. Little Steve Dobson, and a penalty against Warrington. Very kickable this for Graham Stedman. This could put another 2 points on the board. He's a good kicker, this lad. 6 points to Wire, 10 points to York. Just on the 25-yard line, very kickable. And Bob Jackson telling Boydie to stop talking, keep quiet. Got his hands up in surrender, Bob Jackson. No way are they the right distance from the ball. Boydie's been pulled back by Jackson. And it's a beautiful kick by Stedman. And so York put another 2 points onto the score. Warrington 6, York 12. There'll be some rollickings in that dressing room at half-time. Into injury time. Ball taken well there by another. And he runs into the bustling Cullen. And Mr. Boyd. Steve Crooks. Rhodes to Dobson. To Mick McIntosh. And yet again, a York player lies injured, and the referee stops the clock. There's been more lying down than in Dynasty in Dallas for the last 3 months in this game so far. It's Mick McIntosh. He's trying to get back down under by burrowing his way through the pitch, I think. How do you liven up a game like this in your commentary? I don't know. Bring back Eddie Waring, I say. The referee has not signalled start the clock. He stopped it but didn't signal to start. I think I'm right. McIntosh still not playing the ball. And it's Stedman who's had a very good game for York. And there's the half-time hooter. And the scores on the door say Warrington 6, York 12. That's the half-time score. Let's hope for better things in the second half. And I'm sure that the referee will be greeted by boos as he comes off. I'm right. Alan Rathbone having words with the referee, Walker, being pulled away by Andy Gregory and saying, keep your mouth shut, Alan, it doesn't gain you anything. Mr. Walker not a very keen favourite here at Wilderspool today. One or two semi-tough tackles, but they're in the lead and Warrington have got to score twice to take it. Referee Walker greeted with boos. No changes in the team that completed the first half. And York to kick off. York playing left to right on your screens, of course, in the waspish colours. Stedman to kick for York. There goes the whistle. Stedman kicks right. And it's direct into touch and a penalty from the centre spot to Warrington. Andy Gregory taps. Why not have someone bang it into touch and gain valuable yardage? Why take a tap? And a penalty against Peter Martin, holding down. Now they bring Carbot to take the kick into touch. This could have been done right from the centre spot, I reckon. And Carbot bangs that. And it sails into touch. Thackeray's quick on the uptake to take the replacement ball. And Kelly is to take the tap. Kelly to Gregory, run around, bringing in Kevin Tamati. Tamati tackled on the York 25. Tamati plays to Webb. Webb out to Andy Gregory. Gregory to Bob Jackson, who comes back inside. Webb to Gregory. Gregory going straight. Valuable yardage from Andy. Carl Webb. Tommy Gittins. Kelly. Kelly to Les Boyd. Les Boyd to Barry Peters. Barry Peters charging through there. Good run this. Gives to Carbot. Carbot slips inside for a smashing try. Excellent football. The best football we've seen from Wire in the opening minutes of the second half. All started with that jinking run from Gregory, but a good ball there from Boyd, and Peters played excellently to send Carbot in for that try. 10 points to Warrington, 12 points to York. Not a too difficult kick for Carbot as the York players group together and discuss tactics. In front of Warrington in the Slalom Lager Championship table this morning, but they've played more games. Carbot to kick. And it's wide, so York retain the lead, 12 points to 10. My estimate at the gate is 2,500. That's not official, just an estimate. Still the sun shining, a gorgeous day. And it's Bob Jackson in possession. Driving in. Plays the ball to Webb. Webb gives it to Tamati. There's a line out there. Let's see this ball move across. It's Webb to Gregory to Boyd. Boyd dummies. But he's well tackled indeed. Carl Webb to take. The ball gives to Gregory. Gregory to Kelly. Kelly slips two men, but can't slip the next two. Carl Webb again acting half. Left to Gregory. Gregory puts in a kick. And it's ball back. Not a good kick at all. So we're midway between the halfway line and the wires 25. And it's Dobson to feed for York. And a penalty to York for a scrum infringement. And there's some yapping. It's a penalty to Warrington, I'm sorry. And there's some yapping from York. And it's still going on. And the referee gives Warrington another 10 yards. And it's Makito. And Carbett kicks. Excellent kick from Brian Carbett. Webb's quick on the ball to take the tap. Pressure on York now. Let's see the wires buzz. 2 balls on the pitch at the moment, but there's Boyd. He's striding in, and a pass goes astray from Thackeray to a York player. The fullback, Trevor Midgley. And Boyd given offside, I think. It's a penalty to several Warrington players, actually. A penalty to York. Steadman, left-footed, gains a few yards, plays it safe. Not a very good angle to kick from. There's the blonde Mr. Dobson bringing in Makito. And that's Steve Crooks. Gives the ball to number 11, Gary Cullen. Now we're halfway between the halfway line and the York 25. Crooks, a long ball taken well by Sean Willey on a good run here. Throws it inside. Good pass this. And it's intercepted by Barry Peters. And Kevin Tamati waiting as acting halfback. Goes on the blind side. He's dumped to the turf. Cullen comes in. Paul Cullen acting half. Webb on his left. Out to Kelly. Kelly short pass to Rathbone. Rathbone turns inside. Gets the ball to Tommy Gittins. Tommy Gittins. Good run from Tommy. Couldn't get a pass in there. Ball with Andy Gregory to Les Boyd to Jackson. Jackson tackled well by Chris Harrison. This time it's Andrew Gregory with a chip kick, bouncing well. And the referee says knock on. Gregory having a few words with the fullback Trevor Midgley. It's Dobson to feed from the north stand side of Wilderspool. He feeds and he gets and he tries to go alone, but he's stopped. Rathbone, the tackler. This is Crooks. Almost on the halfway line. Steve Dobson, acting halfback. Moves it left to one of his Aussie forwards. Peter Martin. That's Makito. To Carter. Carter inside pass. To Gary Cullen. He plays. Dobson puts in a kick. Looks good. 'Tis good. Super kick. Like this boy very much indeed. Like him. Ball 10 yards to the Warrington line, and it's a scrum. The pressure's on wire. Needs a good hook this time from Mr. Webb. He's got 2 international props with him today. The referee brings the scrum back to 10 yards from the touchline, quite rightly. And a penalty against Warrington for a infringement before the ball was put in. A lowering of the head. Dreadful scrummaging, but Dobson, Stephen to take the tap. Gives to Crooks. Crooks a long ball out there to Steadman. Steadman to Sean Willey, who's well tackled by Paul Cullen. Steadman again, jinking through. Steve Dobson on the blind side to Peter Martin. Dobson gathers a loose ball, tries to jink his way through yet again. Warrington 10, York 12. York on the attack. Crooks, good ball to McIntyre. Oh, what a tackle there from Tamati. The ball shoots out of his hands like a bullet as he stopped that tackle by Tamati. And Warrington in possession. And the ball's being moved across. Rathbone to Gregory to Tamati. On to Barry Peters, who knocks on. And Gary Collin was injured then, and the physio for York, who's done more running than anybody this afternoon, is on yet again. Here's Steve Dobson to put in. Ooh, it looked like feeding to me, but Gregory has the ball. And there's trouble in that scrum. There's a lot of trouble in that scrum. There's fists flying, there's boots going. Boys trying to calm people down, but oh, Carl Webb's going in like a tiger. Rathbone's pulling a man out. The referee's lost control. The touch judges are on. And this fight, and Rathbone goes down. Rathbone cracks someone else. Boyd, I think, was trying to stop all the problems that time. But I think we're going to see some action here by the referees, consulting his touch judges. There's no need for this. The Wire fans pay the money to see open rugby like all rugby fans. They don't want to see punching. If they do, they'll pay for boxing. Who's going to be pulled out? Who will be lectured? Both touch judges on, talking to referee Walker. This referee has stopped this game so much it's unbelievable. And he's decided who he wants. Carl Webb and Alan Rathbone. Crooks and Rhodes. I don't think we're going to see any bookings. I think we're just going to see a ticking off. Ken Kelly up there as captain, telling Alan to keep quiet, pulling him away, said don't get involved. Carl Webb quite rightly keeping, no, he's having a little say about the touch judge. And would you believe, the York physio is back on. And it's just warnings all the way around, and the penalty goes to York.
I hope you've got that on video anyway.
And Steadman quite rightly decides to go for goal. Steadman having a talk with the referee. He wants another ball and he gets one. Got a left-footed ball, left-footed kicker. And referee Walker penalises Andy Gregory for mouthing. But Steadman is happy to kick the ball from where it is. He's got a better angle. And he's a good kicker, Steadman. Two steps to the left, hands on hips. And he pulls that wide of the right hand upright as he faces it. And so the score still stands, Warrington 10, York 12. While I have a little break, I'll hand you over to young Tony Gleave.
And it's Andy Gregory drops out from the 25. And it's York now in possession with Graham Steadman. Steadman crosses the halfway line and loses the ball. And it's a knock-on, says the referee. So it'll be a scrum down just on inside the Warrington half. Referee will surely have to keep control of these scrums now, as Andy Gregory once more will feed the ball from the leisure centre side. And again, the scrum's not forming properly. Les Boyd and Steve Crooks, and it's another penalty to York from the scrum. Les Boyd, I think, the offender there. So York will kick for touch, and it's Graham Stedman. And he puts it into touch, a good kick there from Stedman. Sets Warrington back inside their own 25. Dobson with the ball. It's Steve Crooks. Crooks back to Dobson, and it's a knock on there by Gary Collin, and the referee gives play on as Andy Gregory has the ball. Inside the Warrington 25. Carl Webb gives it to Rathbone. Rathbone clears the Warrington lines. And the referee gives a free kick to Warrington. Defender there for York, Chris Rhodes. And Brian Abbott being called across to put this one into touch for Warrington. And he puts that one right-footed. Inside, still the Warrington half. It'll be Ken Kelly this time. And once more we've got two balls on the pitch. And the York player just standing there. Finally just kicks the ball into the stand. So Kelly takes this one. Kevin Tamate. Good run there, he's brought down by Crooks and Rhodes. Kelly once more to Rathbone. But Rathbone not making much ground this time. Tackled by three York defenders. Carl Webb once more to Andy Gregory, to Kelly. This time it's Boyd. Boyd back to Johnson. Brian Johnson now going through. And a good run by Johnson, past one. But he's brought down just now inside the York half. Carl Webb to Andy Gregory, to Rathbone. And Rathbone there slips. And this time he lies injured on the floor. And it looks like his shoulder there. Gordon Pinkney runs on as Rathbone clutches his shoulder. Still the score remains Warrington 10, York 12. Are Warrington in danger of losing their unbeaten home record this season? Unbeaten at home as Rathbone still lies injured. And Glynshaw is warming up on the touchline. As still Rathbone lies injured. He gets up and he plays the ball, does he? As the referee starts the clock once more. Here's Gregory. Nice pass to Jackson, but Jackson can't take that one, and here's a good run by Gary Collin. York back in possession. And Warrington ball, Bob Jackson. Looks as if he was tackled by his old man Carl Webb then. Andy Gregory. And this time Jackson's hurt. And the trainer back on. Gordon Pinkney. Lots of injuries and stoppages in this match. And still Glynshaw, and looks like Alan Rathbone will be coming off. But he was waiting to see the injury to Bob Jackson at the moment. The back of the neck, it looks like, but it is Alan Rathbone who will be substituted by Glynshaw. Finally, the referee sees Tony Barrow holding up the number 13, and Alan Rathbone is to be replaced by Glynshaw.
Substitution for Wire. Glynshaw number 15 replaces Alan Rathbone 30.
So Bob Jackson once more to play this. It's Andy Gregory to Tamate. Tamate goes through. Tackled well by two York defenders. Carl Webb to Gregory, to Jackson. But Jackson, he gets away from his man, he's going through, he's over the halfway line. but well tackled there by Mick McIntyre. As the crowd now get behind the wire. Kelly to Gittins. Gittins back to Kelly. Kelly going past his man. Kelly makes good ground. Glenshaw will take this one. And a free kick to Warrington. Not letting Kelly get up there was Mick McIntyre. So a free kick to Warrington. Carbett comes across, but Gregory tells him to go back. He puts this one into touch. Warrington now into the York 25 as they put pressure on York. Gregory to take this one. It's Glenshaw who'll come in. Glenshaw. He's brought down well by 2 York defenders. Warrington now on the attack. Carl Webb. Tamati, but he's well buckled up there by Gary Collin. In front of the York post now, Warrington. Ken Kelly to Gittins. And Gittins, but there's no support there. Open line. Kelly once more. Kelly goes himself. Out to Barry Peters. But Peters can't break his man. Jackson this time. Jackson to Gregory. Gregory back inside to Glenshaw. Glenshaw beats one man, but he's just brought down. And the try is given. Glenshaw scores the try for Warrington. And that makes the score 14 points to 12. Substitute Glenshaw gets his name on the score sheet. And makes the score Warrington 14, York 12. Good move there by Andy Gregory to Glenshaw, who barged over the York lap. So the crowd enjoying that one. Perhaps we might see some more Warrington open play now. So Carbett lining this one up on the 25-yard line to the left of the post. So Carbett steps back to try and add to the try. It's a good kick, but he's put it to the left of the post. So the score remains Warrington 14, York 12. So York to restart. Steve Dobson places the ball. And it's Graham Steadman, left-footed. And that's Brian Johnson who takes it. Johnson dummies and gets just to the 25-yard line. Boyd to Kelly and York offside. And another free kick to Warrington. And Carbett will put this one into touch. And that's well into the York half. Carl Webb to take this one. To Les Boyd. Warrington now, Glenshaw. Glenshaw, well tackled by 3 York defenders. Carl Webb, Andy Gregory, Kelly, back to Gregory. And Gregory makes good ground. 3 York defenders round him. Tamati this time. Makes it into the York 25. Peters to Gregory, to Kelly. Misses out Gittins to Webb. But Webb's well tackled there. So the last tackle for Warrington. Kelly. And that will be a free kick to York for pushing Mick McIntyre. So Graham Steadman taps it. And a good run this by Steadman. Makes it into the Warrington half. Tackled there by Tamati and Makito. And Andy Gregory injured in the middle of the field. Dobson to Steadman. Crook, sorry. That's Peter Martin. Just inside the Warrington half. Crooks going forward. And no York following up there. Dobson changes direction to Makito. Makito over to Morel. Morel gets past Gregory, but he's brought down well by Shaw. Last tackle for York. Dobson with the bomb. Johnson's underneath it. And well taken there by Brian Johnson. Very well taken, under pressure. Kelly. Kelly clears his lines. Good run that by Ken Kelly. Finally brought down by Matt Carter. Gregory to Tamati. Tamati goes over the 25. Good run there by Kevin Tamati. Glynshaw this time. Gregory to Brian Johnson. Johnson kicks deep into the York half, and there's Trevor Midgley who takes that one. Gets past Paul Cullen, but tackled well finally by Barry Peters and Bob Jackson. Steve Dobson to Crooks. Crooks makes ground. Dobson once more. Inside the Warrington half. Dobson. York swinging this one out. Makito. Backhanded pass, and Stedman picks that one up. Dobson. Dobson goes left, but well tackled there by Andy Gregory. Dobson tries with chip, but well taken there by Tommy Gittins. Webb. And Webb, 6 more tackles, clean slate. Gregory to Boyd. Boyd to Thackeray, but Thackeray can't take that one. And that will be a scrum down in the Warrington half. So, Dobson to feed. And that's Warrington ball. Andy Gregory. Gregory, good run, but tackled well by Midgley. Jackson to Kelly. To Peters. To Brian Johnson. Oof. High tackle there by Sean Willey, but the referee not interested with that one. There's Gittins to Tamati. Tamati, nice pass to Jackson. Peters. Peters finally brought down by Chris Harrison. Jackson to Gregory. Gregory over the 25. Warrington now putting on the pressure. And the touch judge is on. And it looks like a York player will be having a talking to from Mr. Walker. And it's Chris Harrison. So, free kick to Warrington for punching by Harrison. And Brian Carbett comes over as the referee stops the clock. So Carbett will try and convert this free kick for 2 more points. Only kicked 1 goal so far this afternoon. As he lines this one up just to the left of the posts. So Brian Carbett comes up, and it's to the left of the post once more. And Ken Kelly, I see, is having treatment down in front of the tunnel. As Stedman will drop this one out from the 25. And this one will be taken by Johnson. Well taken. Johnson makes ground, but is well brought down. Ken Kelly to Andy Gregory. Andy Gregory, good dummy, but it's finally brought down by Chris Rhodes. Glynshaw goes blindside. Back out to Andy Gregory, to Ken Kelly. Kelly finds the gap, Kelly goes through it. Good run there by Ken Keller. Webb now to Gittins, to Andy Gregory. Andy Gregory, dummies, back to Boyd. Boyd goes straight to Cullen. Cullen inside the York 25 now. It's Webb to Gittins. Long pass to Barry Peters. Back out to Gittins. Gittins goes straight. About 10 yards now from the York line. Last tackle. Webb to Gregory. Gregory with the bomb. And it's Glenn Short. Took that ball well, but was pushed away from the line. And that's the changeover. And York now will clear their lines. And the referee's given a free kick. So Chris Rose will take this one. Dobson, sorry. To Makito. Makito brought down by Glimshot. Dobson will take this one. To Crooks. Crooks beats Boyd. Nice pass out to Steve Dobson. Dobson to Peter Martin, but a good tackle there from Bob Jackson. Chris Harrison. Dobson. That time it's Gary Collin. Good pass out. And York now on the attack. Dobson once more to Crooks. That time it's Harrison. Harrison breaks one tackle, moves into the Warrington 25. Stedman to Dobson with the bomb. And that's a good one. And Brian Johnson misses that one. And York take that one. It's out now with Steve Crooks. Crooks back out to Stedman. Stedman goes one way, back the other, and it's a clean slate now. Dobson. Matt Carter. He's brought down well by Cullen. Dobson to Crooks. Back to Dobson. Harrison. Harrison makes ground. York now putting on the pressure. And there's Makito. Dobson once more goes himself. There's a chance here. Sean Willie going through. Last tackle. What we see here from York. Dobson. Little kick. Well, that's going to go dead hand. Warrington have a tap from the 25 and for the remaining of the match back to Peter.
Thank you, Tony Gleave. And so it's Warrington to tap, just 2 points in the lead. Approximately 8-9 minutes to go. And it's Kevin Tamati bringing the ball to the 25. He taps and goes alone. Warrington's man of the match will be picked today by Spa Callans, 8 till late. And there's a substitute coming on for York, I think. 15 is warming up. That's Mick Colley. Right now, Glynshaw plays to Carl Webb. He hands on to Kelly. Kelly reverse with Gregory, but well spotted by Crooks. I think Crooks had a very good game despite his dramatics. Andy Gregory slips a man. Pushes the ball back. Kelly gets it, flips it to Gittins. Gittins inside to Tamati. 6 tackle coming up. Bob Jackson is the acting half. He gives to Gregory. Gregory puts in a kick which bounces off the chest of Wayne Morrill, and that's quite legal. Dobson now gives to the fullback Midgley. Midgley on to Stedman. Stedman, he's almost beat Boyd, but no, Leslie's on him. Dobson again to Martin. Martin slips the ball to the loose forward, and a good ball there to Sean Willie, Australian here running, pushes the ball inside, and Warrington have possession. Paul Cullen with it. He loses the ball. Glenshaw's on it, and that's offside or a knock-on. It's a knock-on, says referee Walker. And there's a substitution for York. Can't see the card from here. It's a small one. But it's obvious that Mick Colley is coming on. Warrington 1 goal, 3 tries, 14 points. York 2 goals, 2 tries, 12 points. And the pack is still a problem to referee Walker. Touch judge trying to indicate a sub wants to come on. And that's York's ball, but the referee says no, he's not happy. And he's indicating, I think, that the sub can come on. Who's coming off? The substitution is Matt Carter comes off and Mick Colley comes on. Substitution for York. Mick Colley replaces Matt Carter. And it's Dobson out to Stedman. Stedman with an inside pass to Wayne Morrell. Play by York. And York trying the hardest to get this try that would put them into the lead. This is Crooks. 4 or 5 yards from the wire line. Dobson inside to Mick McIntosh. He's trying to push men off, but he's well held just beneath the sticks. Inches from the wire line. Gordon Pinkney's coming on, but Crooks has the ball. He gives it to his second rower, Gary Cullen. Gary Cullen plays to Dobson. Dobson puts in that little chip to the corner, and it's dead. And a tap from the 25 for Warrington. There's a Warrington man injured. Bob Jackson is signalling to the touch line for treatment, but Gordon Pinkney's already there. And Warrington have it. It's Glennshaw. About to play now to Andy Gregory. 3 former Woodens men in that move. There's Glennshaw playing to Gregory, giving to Bob Jackson. Bob Jackson coming inside. And Mark Foster, he's warming up on the touchline. Gregory long pass to Kelly. Kelly tries to jink his way through, and he does. He's seen this gap very well indeed. But he's well tackled there, almost on the halfway line by his opposite, number 6, Graham Stedman. Bob Jackson to Andy Gregory. Andy Gregory to Carl Webb. Carl Webb loses the ball. Referee gives a penalty to York for Carl Webb leaning in with the elbow. And the substitution is that Warrington's number 12, Tommy Gittins, is coming off to be replaced by Mark Foster. Substitution for Warrington. Mark Foster reappears in place of number 12, Tommy Gittins. So who goes into the pack? Let us see. Stedman's going for goal. One cannot blame him. A draw away is winning money. Is he capable of this distance? He's got accuracy, he's got class, but has he got the distance? Warrington fans hold the breath. The team holds the breath. I'd hold my breath, but it'd stop me talking. And it's Stedman weighing up the situation. And it's an awful kick, dreadful, right into the arms of Barry Peters. He nearly drops it, but just manages to hold. And he's still going, Barry Peters. Still going. This is a good run from Peters. Appreciation all the way around the ground from the Wire fans. Gregory. Kevin Tamati acting half. Dummy's left goes right. Barry Peters acting half. Gives to Gregory. Gregory to Kelly. Kelly on to Bob Jackson. Bob Jackson turns. But he's grasped by Stedman. Webb to Andy Gregory with a kick, not a good one at all, to Morrell. Morrell, number 2, running across the field, but he's brought down by Mark Foster and Bob Jackson. Mark Foster just returned to the action in place of the injured Tommy Gittins. That's fullback Midgley with a good pass to the 15, Mick Colley, the sub. He's tackled by his opposite number 15, Glynshaw of Wire. That's Dobson, Crooks, Peter Martin, beats Les Boyd, doesn't beat Kelly. What a good tackle. Kelly pushed off the ball. York determined to get ground here. Gary Cullen, he's about to play to Stedman. Out to Dobson. Makito. 6 tackle indicated coming up. Stedman with a bomb. It's high. Gregory goes up for it. Bounced into York player's hands. Out to Morrell. Morrell's wrapped up by Thackeray and Foster. Into touch just yards from the wire line. And it's a scrum down. And minutes to go. Can Wire hold out? Will York pull off a surprise? Well, it's Andy Gregory to feed. This should be Warrington's ball. Referee not happy with this scrum again. Re-scrum, says referee Walker. He's had no discipline himself over these scrums as the referee this afternoon. They've been a disgrace. They've slowed this game down so much. Glynshaw obviously into that front row, Boyd into the second row. And it's Gregory going blindside, but he's well wrapped up by his opposite number 7, Dobson. Looks injured, Gregory. Shaw with it. He's up the jumper play at the moment. The 2 points in the lead, the Wire. They need the points in the Slalom Lager Championship. This is Kevin Tamati, determined to keep that ball in possession. Kelly, dummy half. He gives to Brian Johnson, and Brian Johnson kicks. Taken very well by Morrell. Thackeray in the tackle with Bob Jackson. Bob Jackson just not stopped tackling. Never does. Non-stop 80-minute player if ever there was one, Bob Jackson. This is Stedman. Gives the ball to Sean Willey from Australia. He gets it out to another on that left wing. And Warrington in possession. It's Paul Cullen with it. Paul Cullen trying to open up play. Gives to Glynshaw. There's only Thackeray outside him. And he's brought down. Glynshaw plays to Cullen. Cullen gives it to Tamati. Tamati says, I'm keeping this. Paul Cullen, dummy half. Chachi, his nickname. He passes the ball to Gregory, who gives to Carl Webb into the York half. Ken Kelly, dummy half. Gregory, jinking, dummying, loses the ball. Chris Rhodes in possession, plays it for York to Crooks. Crooks to Makito. Makito throws a dummy, but doesn't get far. Looks hurt again. And what drama, what dramatics. You won't win matches doing that, Mr. Makito. Win by 2 points, 14 points to 12. The Warrington Man of the Match, chosen by today's Mitre Match Ball sponsors, Spa Callans, the 8 till late shop at Callans. The Warrington Man of the Match goes to number 11, Bob Jackson. And so Bob Jackson gets the Man of the Match award. A very scrappy game, not very entertaining indeed. The diehards have come along. There are boos for the York actors, but I think generally York have played a very, very steady game, a good game considering all the points they've had scored against them. And Makito is still receiving attention, and he's got 2 officials on the pitch alongside with the substitute and 2 or 3 of his players. He really does look hurt this time. I don't think there's any acting going on now. There's no need to. but it looks a problem out there. Still, thanks for watching this video. Hope you've enjoyed some of it. Your cameraman Ian Unsworth of Easy Video Wigan. Copies can be obtained. See your programme or call at the general office. Your commentator this afternoon, young Tony Gleave. My name's Peter Robinson. Not enjoyed it a lot myself, but there's signs of things to come, and it's 2 more points in the table for Wire. Ta-da.
Well, the game is gone and buried now. 41.5 minutes gone by my watch as Russ Conlon puts the final nail in the coffin, but it'll come in from 2 yards in front of us. We'll get a first clear view of it. We'll think Sir Rovers will kick on through George Fairbairn. They know that the points have gone, and really has been a sad defeat.
Odd as it was from tries from David Lydiard